Hey everyone. Um, it's May 9th, if I'm not wrong. It's May 9th, and I was thinking about working on this video um 2 hours ago now. So it's 3 in the morning. It was 3 in the morning 2 hours ago. Now it's exactly like about 5 in the morning. It's 5:03 in the morning. So 5:03 a.m. Um, I decided to share my manga recommendations and hopefully explain as to what I've learned from three of them. Um, to be to be precise, I want to share you my first ever personal reading, which would be 3 Days of Happiness by Suguru Miyake. Um, the story entails that uh, two kids, one male, one female, they're childhood friends. Um, Both of them were really isolated from society. Uh, and basically they kind of were like close together basically throughout their childhood, and one of them had to move to a different neighborhood. That would be the female, and the male, of course, had to live his whole life not knowing any of her whereabouts and stuff. But one night before life happened, where she had to move and stuff like that, they both promised each other that in 10 years from now, as kids, if they ever reach 20 and they haven't found a single person to marry or like have a successful life or career, then they'll marry each other. And for the guy, he held it to heart. For the girl, I'll explain it later. But when they both parted ways, 10 years later, the guy lives in a really crappy part-time job. He ends up actually basically becoming a list of all the prerequisites as to what their promise was about. No friends, no love interest, not even a successful career. Like basically like rock bottom, like at the rock bottom, like literally he's only working to sustain like just enough to live. And he found out that he was so low on money that this one particular area lets you sell your lifespan for money in exchange. So he finds out that he only had like only a few years left, and he decided to spend it all until 3 months left. And apparently, lifespan is valued differently per person in this book, and he had really low value from selling like most of his life remaining for just 3 months left. And he does go for it, and basically for those 3 months throughout the story, you basically find out that he's now stuck in the past, and he basically tries to contact people who try to get to know him, but he like pushed them away because he didn't really felt motivated to get to know them. And he later finds out that the people who try to kindle with him, they're either not interested or they're just not the people that he thought they were good to be with. And he actually has a companion with him throughout those 3 months. This companion, she's part of like the supernatural building where he had to exchange his lifespan for money, she's like the accountant, I guess you could say, but not really. She's just a worker for that supernatural area. Um, she's basically his monitor, and somehow she's able to understand his possibilities of whatever happens in the future for him. So she explicitly tells him to not meet this childhood friend he once knew, and he was hurt, or at least he felt very offended that he was being told not to go meet his childhood friend, even if it may hurt him. So throughout the story, you just find out that the more he goes back into digging up his past, he ends up being more hurt, and eventually, like at the climax of the story, he finds out that the childhood friend that he made a promise with, she was already with some other dude, and well, to be fair, actually, she also became a bitter person. She became bitter to him, actually, to the point that her ploy was to kill herself in front of him, but she held back. And she was basically trying to leave a sense of guilt on top of the main character. And of course, the main character was very, very heartbroken, you know, because he really wasted his life, just for this one person, and he finds out that this one person did not even bother, like wanting to keep up the the promise they made to each other back when they were kids. And while he has 3 months left, or while he has how many so months left, um, this observer decides to ease the pain by like being his company, and at the same time he actually becomes being her company, and they both like learn more about each other and find out that um, they're kind of more compatible. So it kind of gives you a perspective that um, you should not wait to live. You really should not. And that is hard for me to grasp until I finally take it like more seriously, because as of now, like the dreams I had for 3 years, like the dreams I had of like me being in a state where I see this girl that I once like so angry at me, feel bitter at like seeing me, like I shouldn't even have to care about it, but I still do. And in my mind, I feel guilty about it. But on April 2nd, like the one dream where she's actually happy to see me, the one dream, it's just like I don't know how like why it accumulated to that point. I asked my best friend about it. He said that maybe it was a way for me to say goodbye, like a genuine farewell. So I hope whoever reads 3 Days of Happiness, I hope you understand that you should not wait in order to live. Um, Thankfully, there's a happy ending for the main character. Thankfully, there is. The second book I want to recommend is The Climber. The Climber is a manga where the main character is framed for a murder of someone, and throughout his life, he basically is under the impression that he deserves to be alone. Like, no, like he does not deserve to have any companionship whatsoever. He just believes that the people who said bad things about him are right, and they're justified to the point where he accepts that he should be alone for the rest of his life. Um, the Climber, you may guess, the title means that he wants to be a rock climber, or a free soloist, actually, to be precise. So he falls in love with being a free solo climber, and he loves mountains. Uh, in the story, he basically explains that climbing mountains basically lets you abandon the people below you. So in a way, it helps you be alone and just not have to worry about relationships that hinder you as a person. Um, and well, what I love about the climber is the moment he finds out he loves climbing, he actually visits the hospital room of the person he so-called murdered because he's in a state of coma. Um, this person that we don't know, it's never explained. We don't know if he was ever his best friend. We don't know if they're ever strangers. We never get the answer. But the only fact is that he visits his room from time to time. And the one time that is ever shown in the manga is when he finally says, I'm going to become a climber. And what's important about that message is even though it's a one-way message, like you're lifting yourself from the burden of like having people talk ill about you, and like you're basically lifting the burden that you want to move on as well. On April 30th, I officially sent a one. It may not be a one-way message. It may not. It could be a one-way message. But I've sent a one-way message to her, not for me to get back with her. It's for me to say that I want to say my apologies. I want to say what I'm grateful about her. And I also want to say, like, I hope that the people we're with today are with us till the very end. And it was really short, straightforward. Like, you just, sending a message, a one-way message, I've done it many times. And most of the time, they actually do lift the burden off your shoulders. So the fact that the climber portrayed something of that nature is really special to me. And the fact that Mori Buntaro gets to learn about climbing and also learn about himself more while climbing is amazing. Before he climbs his first ever like major mountain, after saying his one-way message to this one person we don't know about, he helps a little girl. Um, he helps a little girl, and the little girl gives Mori a baby's breath. And what's so significant about the message is that no matter who you meet, their perspective of you may be good. Not everyone has to think ill of you. And it helps you to know that like you deserve to be loved as well, because Mori believes that everyone he meets will dislike him. And we learn more in the story that he thinks about that way, because when he climbs his first ever major mountain, it was with a group, and this group was very dysfunctional. Like I would totally agree with him that if I was him, I would definitely feel the same, that they might dislike me, but not we don't know for sure. But they were definitely dysfunctional. I will say, like they're definitely toxic. Um, but what I'm trying to say is like it. It's very prominent that he does not have a good view of himself. And in the end of the first ever major trip, spoiler alert, he's the only sole survivor. But he still has compassion. He still has humanity in him, because the last person who like the last person that died, he begged Mori to die with him, and Mori complied. Um, but Mori like kind of revives himself somehow, and in a state of like in a state of urgency, he knows that he cannot fulfill that role of dying with someone because he has his own life to live. But he was compassionate enough to give up his own life just to comfort someone that was not willing, was inevitably going to die in that one trip. And later down the line in Mori's life afterwards, moving forward, he meets this one girl that he saved her life. And after saving her life, he finds out that this is the woman that he wants to marry. And that shows growth. That he definitely wants to be with people. Because throughout the whole story, he believes that he deserves to be alone, and climbing mountains was the only way for him to officially feel that sort of bridge from escaping people. You're up here, where like closer to heaven in space, while everyone else is down here, and he wanted to be this far in order to ensure that he's capable of living in pure solitude. And he ends up realizing that he doesn't want to be living that sort of life. But there's also the importance that you should definitely fulfill your dreams, and you have to find someone who can respect what you want in your life. Because when he said he gave up on mountains, the goal for him from the beginning was to climb the world's dangerous mountain. And when he met his wife and he had a kid, he said he's giving it up. But spoiler alert, in the end, he decides to climb the world's dangerous mountain. He fights a dilemma where if he should fulfill it or not. He does fulfill it. But he was really split between if he'll be able to live or if he'll die. And if he'll die, was it really worth climbing that mountain? If he'll live, if he wants to live, he should go down to ensure that he would be with his family. Does he want to forsake his family just to climb a mountain? So, thankfully, there's a happy ending where he gets to fulfill his dreams and also he gets to still be with his family. And then Vagabond. Vagabond's my third manga recommendation. If you haven't read it, you definitely need to read it. In summary, Vagabond is basically it's supposed to be a fictional portrayal of Miyamoto Musashi, or the real life Ronin, and Miyamoto Musashi's goal in Vagabond is to basically be the strongest. I'll say the strongest swordsman of Edo, and he was like a bloodthirsty killer. Everything that will fight him, he'll kill. And he even challenged a dojo that was way superior than him, that could have easily killed him but spared his life. And throughout the story, the more he kills, the more he finds out that it does not bring anything in return. In fact, it brings a little bit of emptiness. And the more people he speaks with, the more bloodshed he's caused. Even the bloodshed with someone who even had the same path as him. So there's this one thief, or some thief, who basically killed just like Miyamoto Musashi. And later down the line in life, they both meet again, and Miyamoto finds out that he actually reformed from being a thief. He decides to take care. Well, I wouldn't say reformed being a thief, but the thief took over a kid as like his own little student, because he killed. Like, I'm pretty sure he killed the kid's father, or he saved the kid at least. And Miyamoto finds this out and realizes that people like the thief is a bloodthirsty murderer, can be compassionate as well, because the thief is raising a child, and the child, I mean, the child is kind of trained as a killer, but like she's still human as well. Sadly, Miyamoto had to deal with the thief because Miyamoto needs to be the strongest, and he kills the thief. And inadvertently, we don't know for sure if Miyamoto finished the girl off, but had he did finish her or not, she may have been dead anyways, because she has no one else to to be looked after. So, with that perspective in mind, it's just Miyamoto basically is aware of the amount of bloodshed he has caused throughout this, like at the end of the story, and he decides to be more kind. He decides to start to treat life more seriously. He doesn't want to kill anymore. And there's another plot where he killed someone and inadvertently caused another child to commit suicide right in front of him, and it worked. And that image of her jumping off and killing herself did impact his brain into like knowing that there are consequences where taking the lives of others will have people dislike him, obviously. But what I'm also trying to say is that this is one person in particular in his life that is infatuated with him, and respectfully, she does not ever try to convince him to stop stop being in the path that he wants. And what I'm trying to get with this message of Vagabond is that if you really love someone, you should respect what they're trying to aim for in life, even if it means that you have to say goodbye. And for Miyamoto Musashi in Vagabond, he continues to be he continues to guide his life through the way of the sword. And in the end of Vagabond, it was portrayed that Miyamoto Musashi recognizes the amount of lives he's taken, but also the amount of lives he's helped in his lifetime. And then there's one particular regret he had that he still thinks about and yearns. And we find out that at the end of the manga, he never got to be with the woman that was infatuated with him, and he was also infatuated with her because of his goals and being the strongest. So it kind of adds to the perspective that, are you willing to give up your goals in life for one person, or are you willing to respect the other person's goal and let them go? So it's kind of like two different options mixed with the climber and Vagabond. The climber, you meet your goals, and you meet with the person who will stay with you after you meet your goals. And you have Vagabond, where you meet your goals, but you have to lose the person who you were infatuated with and was infatuated with you. So, like, there are definitely choices that you would have to make in life where you have to just stick by them. For me, I have to stick by the fact that we've been in no contact for 3 years, and I broke the silence literally last week now, because or over a week now. Yeah, over a week. But she hasn't seen my message, and she probably deleted my message, or at least deleted the chat, and that's okay. As long as I send a message, it doesn't matter if she read it or not. A one way message, I'm more comfortable doing than just not saying anything, because it's a lot to take in for me. I'm still growing as a person. I'm still trying to understand myself more. Like I I've cried so many nights where I should be okay trying to find ways to make myself feel better. So, I forgot to mention, but in Vagabond, Miyamatsu Musashi basically he makes himself live through solitude as well. Now that I think about it, all three of the stories I'm recommending is about men who live in solitude. One of them basically gave up his life just for one girl. The second one, he was under the impression that he should live in solitude people, because the way he thinks of people, because the way he thinks of himself to other people. And the third one is just in order to meet goals and ends, he needs to live through a life of solitude. In all three of those stories, they had experiences with meeting people. It goes to show that no matter how you want to live in solitude, you will meet people who are willing to get to know you. You have to make the effort in return. You just have to make the effort in return. And sometimes you just have to give up people in order to meet the goal that you want. And that's probably why we both ended on mutual terms, I guess. I say mutual because I feel like I messed up really bad. But, I mean, we both kind of did, I guess, end on mutual terms. But there's no point in explaining it. Yeah, it's already almost 30 minutes long. I have like 200 plus photos I want to compile as well onto this video, so I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But I guess I should end it off saying read 3 Days of Happiness, The Climber, Vagabond. Those three are also the reasons why I want to find a mountain to climb by myself in camp. Not because I want to disregard my safety, which I kind of do, I guess, but I just want to experience true loneliness in order to yearn for companionship. I do have people. I do have people who love me. My family, my friends, like I do have them. It's just I'm making one person that I haven't talked to for 3 years, just like subconsciously just building up guilt that I've been fabricating. And I just need to know that it's okay to move on. It's okay to start over. And it's okay to hope for the best for them. And that's what I have to do. Not just for me, or well, not just for her, but it's just for me in general. Like, even if she's bitter at me, I can't hate her. I genuinely cannot hate her. She was the only ever person that I genuinely did not want to lose. Who knows? If I ever see her, because we still live in the same region, I can't ever approach her. I respectfully cannot. I just have to respect the silence. One message is enough. That's all. I'm not doing that again. But all right. I hope I actually do make a solo date sometime. Cause 30 minutes for this is crazy. I don't know how I'm gonna upload this. I might not be able to upload with the images that I was hoping to present. Who knows? But have a good night. I retired 5:33. It makes sense. Yeah, have a good night, guys. I hope you read them. I hope you like them. I hope you understand what I'm trying to point out. It's 30 minutes. I don't think anyone's gonna watch this, so I'm kind of safe. But hope you guys have a good night. Take care.